Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Nic Brown, who is the media relations guy for the Scarefest. Scarefest is an annual event that's held in Lexington, Kentucky every year, and I'm proud to announce that I have been supporting this convention ever since day one of my show, and I've been doing this for 6-7 years now. So Scarefest is one of the largest paranormal and horror conventions in the U.S., and I'm glad it's in Kentucky. You know, we can hold our head high. We can hold our heads high about this. That's for sure. So, Nic, how's it going?
It is going really well, John, and I want to thank you for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it.
That's not a problem. Scarefest, man, 10 years. Are you guys shocked that it's 10-year anniversary for this dude?
We are shocked. I mean, it's been, and I've been involved with the show since the beginning. So
Yeah.
I was at the very first Scarefest in 2008, and here we are, 2017, and we're doing the 10th show. And it's amazing. It's a little bit scary, actually, to think
Oh
we've
yeah.
been doing this thing for 10 years. But at the same time, it's something that's really grown, and the folks involved in it are kind of a big family now, and it's really nice. Especially, we've seen people who come every year, and I've literally watched some kids grow up. Every year they show up at the show and talk to us, and you watch them grow up, and it's kind of cool, kind of weird, but kind of cool too.
Well, yeah, it's got everything into one. And plus, Scarefest is the biggest paranormal and horror convention around, man. I mean, you guys have to start planning this as soon as it's over, or even right in the middle of the event to outdo year by year by year.
Well, that's true, and we are the largest paranormal and horror convention in the U.S. We are actually branching out and rebranding a little bit this year with Scarefest 10.
Mm-hmm.
We're focusing also now on horror fandom in general, but also on Halloween. Because the event's happening again this year. It's happening the last weekend of September and ends on October 1st. So it takes us right into the haunt season.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to be doing some more stuff related to Halloween this year than we have in previous years too. Trying to get some of the haunts, especially the local haunts out of Lexington, involved even more than they have been in the past, and that's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Now I want to hit on the branching out a little bit here, and then we'll get right into the paranormal stuff because that's kind of fading out just just a little. But
Well, it's yeah.
branching out. I mentioned this before we got the interview started. I think it's awesome that you guys are including musicians and bands at this because it goes hand in hand at these conventions, I think.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, as we were talking before the show, and it's true. Rock and roll and horror movies and paranormal kind of go together. And I think everything from the Return of the Living Dead proved that, and you've got all sorts of other movies. But I think it's a great combination. And so far we've got two musical guests announced. We've got Marky Ramone
Yes,
from
sir.
the Marone from the I'm getting tongue tied. I'm wanting to call him the Maroons because his name's Marky, from the Ramones,
There you go.
and also the Misfits. And then we've got Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein from
Yes, sir.
Danzig and the Misfits. I mean, damn. That's going to be some fun stuff. And we, again, this year, we're doing the pre-opening party the
Mm-hmm.
night before. And that'll be something that we'll be selling tickets to, and you can get in. It'll be we're planning it, I think, for the Thursday night before the show this year for folks who come in early. And if we have the same venue we had last year, it should be really good. We were able to get a bunch of musical guests in, and we had some food trucks out, and it was just a lot of fun. We had some of the celebrities come out early, and like Ari Lehman was there, and they were giving away prizes and stuff. So it was a lot of fun, and we had some local bands playing. Hopefully, we can get some of these celebrity musical guests this year to play too. So
Yeah,
we'll see. No promises there because of contract stuff, but we'll see.
that's what I was going to say. You got Doyle and his album's getting ready to come out here very shortly.
Yep.
So hey, Doyle can kick ass just as
Yes,
good
he
as.
can.
If you've not got to hear Misfits, folks, and Doyle's previous album, Abominator, God, go check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think if we can arrange it, we would love to have them play because that was one of the things that folks, we had Guar last year, and a lot of folks were really requesting that we have Guar play. And unfortunately, there were some contractual concerns that meant that we really couldn't at that time.
Sure.
But we're going to work on that a little bit more because if you're going to have the musical guests, you need to play the music. That's just, they go hand in hand.
Now I want to touch a little on the paranormal because I used to be a huge fan of the paranormal, and it's kind of drifted off a little bit here in the past couple years. Has it been harder for you guys to include a lot of paranormal guests like you have been, or is it kind of fading out a little bit, man?
Well, it's interesting because Patty Starr, actually, one of the founders, she is a huge person in the Kentucky
Right.
and Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio area paranormal scene. And, she runs a very popular ghost hunt out of Bardstown, Kentucky. And also, she's written, I think, 6 books, I want to say, on the subject. And, she does paranormal investigation classes. So the entire event has really been as much paranormal as horror at the beginning. It has moved a little bit away from that, more to focus on the horror. And as I said, we're bringing in a focus on Halloween and fandom in general with that. And part of the reason is it's the popularity of paranormal. I won't say it's going down, but it's becoming more specific, might be the best way to put it. And so, we are having, it is a bit of a challenge to get some new blood in every year, no pun intended, for the paranormal side. And that said, I mean, we've got a few paranormal guests already lined up. I mean, of course, Patty Starr will be there. We've also got Juwan and Dalen, the Ghost Brothers, are going to be there for the 10th anniversary show. And we have demonologist Stephanie Bingham is going to be in speaking as one of our guest lecturers at the event. And then I'm actually going to be talking a little bit about a paranormal subject myself. I'm going to be speaking on the topic of Wendigos at the event. So, we still have a decent paranormal group in a crowd, and I think Pans the Paranormal will find plenty to do at the event. But at the same time, the focus has shifted a little. And I will also say that it's always been interesting to see the crowds at the Scarefest because while there's a lot of overlap between the paranormal and the horror communities, there's also parts of that overlap that don't touch. And so, it's always fun to see the hardcore horror fans there dressed up in cosplay and whatnot. And then you have the little old ladies there to get their palms read.
Yeah.
And, it's always fun to see that sort of thing. So.
This year's the 10th year anniversary of Scarefest, and you guys have kudos on this one. Finally, you guys have got Robert Englund. How big is this for this year's event at Scarefest as a whole, man?
Oh, I think this is huge. We've wanted Robert Englund for several years, actually. And, there've been scheduling conflicts and everything else have prevented us. For one thing, we don't want to get a celebrity who's just appeared at another con that's only a couple hours away from here. Because that's not so much a draw. And we don't want people to feel like they're just seeing the same old thing over and over again. And so a few years that we could get Robert Englund, he had already appeared at a nearby convention, and it just wouldn't be, I think, worth the effort and the cost to bring him in. This year, we've got him. We're excited. And we've started doing something this year that we haven't done previously. And I'm excited about this. You can go to the Scarefest website, thescarefest.com, and you can pre-order your autograph photo voucher for Robert Englund. And with that, you will get a line skip flex pass that you can use to basically skip to the front of the Robert Englund line and get your photo autographed. And the pass includes one photo, 8x10, from his whatever collection of photos he brings, or you can bring your own photo, and you get the line skip flex pass. And that's really exciting because nobody likes to spend the entire con standing in line.
No.
So if you want to pre-order that, you get the bonus of the line skip pass, and you can spend the money now and then have more money to spend at the event, but still get his autograph. So, and trust me, there'll be a line for Robert Englund. So you'll want that line skip pass. It's going to be worth its weight in gold.
That's my next question. I mean, if you're going to do the passes like that, are you guys kind of afraid, like, hey, you just skipped in front of me. Hey, you just skipped in front of me. Go back and forth. I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, there's always that concern. And so one of the things with that is we make it very clear in the line setup, that this is a special VIP opportunity. We're going to make those passes available for purchase. There will be a limited number at some point. We're going to, cut that number off at some point, because if everybody has a flex pass, then it doesn't do any good.
Sure.
But one of the really cool things, and I tell you what, by the time this airs, I don't know if there'll be any left, but if you're a hardcore fan, you ought to check out our Platinum Weekend Pass package, because that's tickets for two, and those are platinum level tickets. And in addition to hotel rooms for the 2 nights that come with the platinum package, and access to all the events, of course, and a lot of the swag, you also get a 3-punch line skip pass that you can use on any of the celebrities. So basically 3 times you can pick the celebrity you want to skip to the front of the line for and just use it. And every time you use it, it gets punched, so you can't use it for everybody, but you can pick your 3 that you don't want to wait in line for and use it there. Mm-hmm. So we're excited about that too.
Has Scarefest met your guys' expectations since the beginning of the convention, man, of 2008 till now?
It's funny because our expectations have changed over the years, and the convention started out, it started out fairly big. It's gotten much larger.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, originally we didn't take up the entire area out there at the convention center, and now we're, they used to have half of it was running a gun show at the same time, and now we're taking the entire convention center, and we're even using space upstairs. So it's happening on 2 floors. And, has it met our expectations? I think so. There have been some ups and some downs, but overall, I mean, it's been a great show. And honestly, I don't think we'd still be doing it if it hadn't lived up to what we needed it to be as an event. And like I said, it's a lot of fun, and it's really nice to give folks, especially fans of horror and the paranormal, can sometimes feel a little bit, I guess, nervous about letting folks know that they're interested in that stuff. And it's become much more mainstream over the last 10 years or so. But when you go to an event like this, it is such an accepting, culture. I mean, it's so nice to see somebody coming in with a severed head and blood makeup and all that. And people are like, not like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? People are like, wow, you did a great job with that costume.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of socialization is it's an amazing part of the event, and I think it's one of the things that make this kind of thing so much fun for everybody who goes. It's a chance to meet like-minded people and just let your scary freak flag fly, as it were.
I remember going to Scarefest and you guys only using half of the building, and I remember it being shoulder to shoulder. Mm-hmm. And it was just so hard to move around, and everybody's like, God, I can't wait to Scarefest, but man, I dread the lines. I'm like, no, that's the best part about it.
Well, that's it. And like I said, with the, where it's expanded, we're now using the upstairs. We're using the downstairs fully. I mean, I think the venue it's a good venue. There is going to be some renovation in the building in 2018. So we're hoping that doesn't affect our 11th show. But, It's a great venue, and it's also one of the few venues of its size in the central Kentucky area.
Mm.
So, it's good. And hopefully, like I said, if you don't want to wait in the line, well, you get your platinum package and you got that 3-line skip pass there. Or get your Robert Englund ticket at least, because the Robert Englund line is going to be insane.
Oh, I guarantee
So,
it. Yeah.
get that and get him out of the way, and boom, you got more time to stand in line for Barry Bostwick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think that's awesome way you guys have done this the last couple of years. It's been like themed, like okay, Friday 13th theme, or
Yep.
what was it, Phantasm theme.
Yep.
I like that what you guys are doing.
No, I like it too, and we're trying to get more of the Nightmare on Elm Street folks in. We've got Amanda Wiss coming in, Ronnie Blakely, we've got Brooke Bundy, and folks like that. So, and we're hoping to get some more. There's some more announcements coming. I'm not at liberty to say right now who else is going to be there, but one person I do want to bring up that's going to be there is Joel Hodgson. And he was the host of the original Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, sir, he was.
Yeah, and he is going to be there, and that is a big deal because Mystery Science Theater 3000 is coming back to television. It's going to be on Netflix starting April 14th with, I believe it's 12 new episodes. And he's one of the people behind that rebirth. He is not going to be one of the hosts, though. I think he's one of the head writers. They've got a new host, but the same bots, different host.
I want to say this right now. You also have one of my, I won't say good friends, but I know of him. He's been on the show a couple times. Is John Kassir, the voice of the Cryptkeeper.
Yes, John is fabulous,
yes,
and I'm really excited that we have him again this year because he, if nothing else, it is so awesome to have him do the announcements.
Yeah.
When we need to say, hey, this seminar is getting ready to start. Isn't it nice to have the Cryptkeeper come on and do that for you?
Yeah. That is awesome. I think he should be a yearly guest as MCer,
Well, I would not mind that. I mean, we've got a pretty good group of MCs that are working with us, but I mean, come on, it's the Cryptkeeper.
Exactly. That's exactly right, my friend. And I was going to say too, I don't know if it started or when it's going to start, but supposedly they're in works to making a new Tales from the Crypt that's going to be on TV, and John's not going to be the Cryptkeeper from it.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard, and so there's mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm like, yeah, but nay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see it back, but at the same time, I'm like you. Yeah, but it's not going to be the same without the good Cryptkeeper voice. So
exactly.
So
I want to get these folks in. I don't want to leave them out because if they do, they may come back on me and you. But how has it been, Nick, working with the officials of Lexington to keep Scarefest there and to keep growing with it, man?
Well, the folks in Lexington have been very supportive of the event. Mayor Jim Gray has he's tried to come out several times, but his schedule hasn't allowed him to. But he's often sent letters supporting us officially, and also, we've had former Mayor Theresa May was in. She and Jason cut the ribbon several times to open the official event, and the folks at the Lexington Center have been really good to work with, and it's nice that the city, this is traditionally a bourbon and horse town,
right?
And it's hard to get a lot of vibe or a lot of energy for things that aren't necessarily bourbon or horse related or basketball.
Big
but
Blue.
We all know that.
Yeah.
But we've really had a lot of support from the city on this event, and it's nice that Lexington appreciates the crowd that we draw in because this event does draw a lot of people. It's been tough for us to get accurate numbers, but I know every year for the past at least 5 years it's been well over 10,000 people, and that is a lot of folks coming in. So
What experience do you hope the fans take away when they leave either one day or the whole weekend of Scarefest, Nick?
Oh, you know what? The experience that I really hope the fans take away, there's actually two of them. One is I hope that they just come and generally feel at home. like because that's how I feel when I'm at the Scarefest. I feel like I've come home.
Mm-hmm.
The folks around me, it's everybody's friendly. It's a wonderful atmosphere, and just it's so much fun to see people who are so into horror, into the paranormal, into these different fandom things, getting to enjoy themselves. And the other thing that I hope that they take away is I hope that they meet that one celebrity that they've always wanted to meet, and they have an opportunity to not just get an autograph picture, but to talk to them for a minute and really come away with an experience. Because at the end of the day, an autograph picture is an autograph picture. But
True.
what you really take away is that time you get to spend interacting with somebody. And, the celebrities at Scarefest have almost always been just some of the best people to talk to and interact with. And I know I've personally met Robert Englund at a couple of conventions, and I've met Joel Hodgson at a couple. And both of those guys are just amazing to talk to. And, I hope that for every person who comes to the show, that they get to have the kind of really positive experience meeting one of their celebrity idols that I've had in the past.
In your own opinion, Nick, what sets Scarefest apart from any other horror paranormal convention that's out there today?
Oh, that is such a tough question, but I think, I mean, really, part of what sets it apart is the air of family and acceptance. And, that's the other thing. Nobody really blends horror and paranormal as much. And I think that has always been one of our strengths. And, with our diversification into focusing as much on Halloween themed items, things like that. I think that's one of the big takeaways. And one other thing, okay, what day is usually the slowest day at the show?
Sundays, usually.
Sundays. Sundays for the past 2 years have been as busy as Saturdays for us. And why is that? Because we partnered with Home Depot both years to do Kids Day. And
Nice.
that has been an amazing addition. And, it's Kids Day, for those of you who haven't heard, it's a chance for kids to come out, and we usually get at least 100. I think last year or for 2016, we had 200 birdhouses that were donated by Home Depot. And they had Home Depot team members out there working with the kids on Sunday to paint these birdhouses. So the kids could get a birdhouse, paint it up for Halloween or for horror or for paranormal, or just paint it pink if they wanted to. Whatever they wanted to, it was their birdhouse, but they had the opportunity to do that. There were kids games. We had a whole bunch of different activities on Sunday that really helped bring out the families. And that's why Sunday became as big as Saturday for us. And that's not something that most shows see.
I know you might have answered this earlier, but for you, what's your favorite part about being part of Scarefest, man? I mean,
It's funny because when you're behind the scenes on an event, the whole thing just swirls through like a tornado.
mhm.
But I think my favorite part of the event is when I get to stand back and watch everything fall into place and happen.
Mhm.
And it's usually taking that 5-second breath between emergencies that this occurs, but during that 5 seconds, that's really my favorite. And I think in that, on Fridays we do a celebrity black carpet event,
Mhm.
and that's usually for the press. And we've been letting in the past gold and platinum ticket members in early to watch this portion of the event. But it's an opportunity for the press to get some photos of the celebrities, do some quick interviews, stuff like that. And that's on Fridays, right before we open it up to the gold and platinum members. And I think for me, that's one of my favorite parts, just because that's kind of my baby. I organize that, and that's something that it's something unique to the event also. Most events don't do that kind of celebrity welcome portion with the black carpet and the step and repeat banner and all that. So, maybe that's my favorite part.
I've been part of the black carpet there many times and got to meet some of those folks that's been there. And That's a cool thing you guys got, because as soon as they come off, you grab them, do a couple minute, I don't know, 2 or 3 minute interview, and
Yep.
and all of them are so appreciative to be at Scarefest and to be part of Kentucky for a couple days.
Well, that's
And
it. And it's really nice to see that kind of thing. So, I can't, and I have to say it's really taught us some of the celebrities have a really good sense of humor.
oh yeah,
Like the guys from Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi,
hmm
those guys are a hoot when you're doing the black carpet. And I have to say Josh Gates, I think
oh
he's
yeah,
yeah, from used to be Destination Truth. Now he's got a different show on
Expedition Unknown.
yeah, Destination Unknown or something, but that guy is just absolutely wonderful to have on the black
Yeah.
carpet. And he really loves interacting with the fans and stuff. So,
I didn't know he had a degree in archaeology.
yeah, he's the real deal Indiana Jones kind of
Yeah.
guy. So,
And he don't come off as being a butthole about it either, like some have. He's you wouldn't even realize it, but the dude is smart. He's very intelligent, and you're right. He's very approachable. He wants to talk to people. He's very interactive with everybody, and he appreciates your time. That's the thing about it.
yes, he does.
So far for you, Nick, who has been your favorite guest you've gotten to meet, or is there a guest at Scarefest has not gotten yet you would like to see be there?
Well, one person I'd love to see come is Bruce Campbell.
Oh yes.
I think he'd be awesome. I mean, I've had some interesting experiences with a number of the different guests. I think probably though, just as far as being able to actually sit and interact with somebody, I think Josh Gates was one of my favorite guests to be there. And we've had him several years, and he's just a lot of fun.
Is there anything you would like to see added to Scarefest in the near future, like branching out even more?
That's a tough one because you don't want to branch out too far. But at the same time, we've been doing a small film festival every year for the past maybe 3 or 4 years with the event. And I would like to see that grow more and maybe even grow into its own separate event. And this year we've got a different gentleman named Claude Miles, who's a local filmmaker, and he's worked out in Hollywood some, and he's going to be helping us organize this year, and we're looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that we can see the film festival portion of it really grow and take off.
What's it mean to you when you guys hear fans of the Scarefest come back year after year, or email you guys, or post on the Scarefest Facebook page that this is their favorite convention of the year, or they drove so many miles to see a few guests, or just to be there to interact with everybody? What's that mean to you guys when you see this?
That means absolutely everything, John. That is, at the end of the day, that's why we put the event on, is for the fans. And we want to bring the fans in, and we want to keep them coming back because they have a good time. And, if you don't have a good time, if it's not the event you were looking for, then you're not going to come out to it because it's not cheap to come to one of
No.
these events.
No.
You've got to buy the tickets, you got to have your money for your autographs, if you're coming from out of town, you got to take care of hotel, travel, food. There's a lot of expenses that go with coming to something like this. And, to have people travel, and we've had people from all over the world come to the event. I mean, we had some folks from Australia last year that came specifically for the Scarefest. Now, they did some other stuff while they were over, but they planned their whole trip around the Scarefest. So, that was the big deal. Really happy about that.
I remember a couple times I've been there, there was one group specifically from Italy.
Yep, we've had Italy. We've had several times. We've had guests from France come over, including a ghost hunter from France of some renown named Vanessa Michel, and she actually runs a ghost adventure company in France. So you can go ghost hunting in a French castle, for example. Kind of cool stuff.
Like I said earlier, man, I appreciate everything that you do. I know BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio has covered this for many years, and we look to continue to cover it for you guys. So anything you all need, Just let me know for sure, and I'll play it. I don't care a bit too. But Nic, how can folks go purchase some tickets and plan their weekend out around Scarefest? How can they do that?
I think the easiest way is to go to thescarefest.com. And, you can get your tickets there. You can find out about what hotels are available, what hotels are offering discounts, more importantly, because there are some that are offering Scarefest specific discounts. You can see what events are going to be coming. And, that's thescarefest.com is one of the best places to do that. Now, that said, you can also follow us on Twitter at the Scarefest. And at the Scarefest Twitter is where we make our announcements first, usually. Then they go up on the Facebook page, which is the Scarefest Horror and Paranormal Convention. And then, of course, there's the website again. That's probably your best spot, though.
Folks, don't fret. Don't fret. BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio, and thanks to Scarefest, we will be giving 2 free weekend passes away. So,
hoorah!
Going to stay tuned to see how we're going to do that, because we're going to incorporate a little bit of twist this year. So, cannot wait to be part of Scarefest again this year, Nic.
We're looking forward to having you guys, John. And as always, we appreciate, the support of BODS Mayhem, and, we appreciate the support of all of the fans and all of your listeners, our listeners. And, check out Scarefest Radio too. We've got our own weekly podcast going on too.
Before I let you go, good sir, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Of course. This is Nic Brown of the Scarefest, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Stick around, everybody. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, Nic.
Hey, thank you, John, and have a great evening, brother.